Turning now to the big story, strike authorized.
The stage now set for a showdown between the United Auto Workers and General Motors.
The union choosing to negotiate with GM first. The automaker already under fire from its workers for idling 4 factories in the U.S.
Workers at GM, Ford, and FCA all voting overwhelmingly to authorize a strike if needed. 7 Action News reporter Jim Kurtzner live at the GM Poletown plant with all of the issues driving this talks. Jim.
Yeah, Glenda, we're starting here because this plant is set to close in January. Workers leaving here this afternoon say they could get an extension, so that's all they wanted to say. General Motors also closed another Metro Detroit plant, a smaller one, Warren Transmission, earlier this summer.
GM's going to be the toughest one. The UAW's really got it out for General Motors. Why not go after the biggest one on the block, knock them down? The others fall right in line.
GM is set to close the Detroit Hamtramck plant early next year, a huge plant that's been here more than 3 decades. In March, GM closed another big assembly plant in Lordstown, Ohio. Workers there emotional on their last day.
Good bargaining chip for the UAW because they've said, look, we think that you violated the contract the way that you did this.
GM calls it unallocating work. Some of the Lordstown workers came to Detroit at the start of contract talks in July to personally put their message in front of both sides outside the Ren-Sen.
GM just doesn't need that much manufacturing capacity. I just don't see it opening those plants.
GM has its own agenda on their side of the table. Car sales are down. A recession could be coming, and the company is spending billions on the future to remain competitive.
There's all this mobility stuff coming. There's electrification coming, electric cars. Nobody even knows if they can make money on them.
The FBI raided the home of UAW President Gary Jones last week, and before that, 9 union and company leaders were charged with corruption that included bribes to influence contracts. Workers' confidence is needed now more than ever. 4 years ago, workers at Fiat Chrysler rejected their first contract.
Rank and file very angry about what's going on. They may just reject what leadership gives them. So unless GM comes up with a real sweetheart of a contract, I think it's likely we're going to see a strike.
So the next week and a half is critical. The current contract expires on September the 14th. The strike is not automatic. They can extend the contract. For now, talks at Ford and Fiat Chrysler are on hold. Live on the east side, Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.
We'll keep watching. Jim, thank you.
And for a breakdown of the vote totals authorizing a strike or to read UAW President Gary Jones's response to the vote, go to our website, WXYZ.com.